right, everyone, we're going to start it off with
Am I still on mute?
All right, are we ready?
Yep.
I think so.
Okay. Was wondering with Avery Roberts, what's behind his progress? Is just another year in the system, or is it anything technical he's doing that's better? Or
I think it's another year in the system. He's more comfortable in the defense. He knows his run fits better. Just his understanding of what to do and how to do it, and that's the awesome thing about, guys progressing from being freshmen to sophomores to juniors. And that's kind of where he's at right now.
last week, what changed between the first half and the second half? Was it just strictly adjustments, or were some other things going on?
There was a few adjustments we made in the types of defenses we were playing, and then I just felt like our guys responded and played better in the second half. So it was a combination of both of those things.
If I recall, it sounded like you kind of challenged your outside linebackers a little bit last week. How'd you feel like they responded?
Well, I definitely think the Cal game was our most productive game of the season, with the number of tackles that we had, the number of impact plays, obviously the big interception at the end of the game off the tip ball. We had some pass deflections. We had some quarterback hits, so I was pleased with the progress that we made. We still got room for improvement, but we were a factor in this game, at least.
Do you think it's more impressive that all that production came against a quarterback like Garbers who could really move?
Yeah, he's a talented quarterback. He's won a lot of games for them, and he was throwing the ball really accurately, and so and then his ability to scramble out of the pocket and stuff like that it makes it challenging, and so that was a good win for us against a top quarterback in our league.
Outside of Oregon's talent, what are the biggest challenges for you defensively?
Yeah, well, the way that they distribute the ball, there's not just like one player that you can lock in and key on and say that we take this guy away, and then they're going to hamstring their offense. They're able to spread the ball around from the receivers to the tight ends to the multiple tailbacks, and then the quarterbacks obviously done a really good job of throwing accurately, throwing efficiently, and then also being able to hurt defenses with his legs. And so they have a lot of weapons out there. And, there's not just one factor that you can try to take away, and then that you're going to limit their offense. Is
Joe's offense a lot different than what Oregon had last year?
It is different for sure. There's certainly he has his style of offense. Coached against him when he was at Penn State, when I was at Wisconsin, and but there's also, you can tell, some carryover from what they have done in the years past with maybe either things that Coach Cristobal likes or things that their staff and O-line coach like, and some of those things, and so it's a little bit of a blend.
One of these weeks you're going to face somebody that you've actually seen from last year, aren't you?
Well, yeah, that's interesting. We're going into game 4, and facing 4 teams in our, division, and 4 new offensive coordinators.
Going back to that group of outside linebackers, what has McCartan kind of improved upon this season? How have you seen him get better?
Well, he added some good weight, which has allowed him to be more physical and hold up better at the line of scrimmage. That's the first thing that, we've noticed from camp into games this year. He's really athletic. He's tall, he's long, and his athleticism allows him to make plays out there. And so we're real happy with John's progression, and I think his best football is still ahead of him.
How cool was it to see him just have that moment on Saturday?
Oh, we were all going nuts, obviously. Really proud of our defensive guys, of having that mentality of just fighting through adversity and make them snap it again. They hadn't scored. Obviously we got some holding and defensive pass interference penalties down there, and a fresh set of downs, and to respond and still keep battling and not get frustrated with the situation and give up was awesome to see. I think for our success defensively, the 2 red zone takeaways were huge.
How did your mood kind of swing from that defensive holding, and then a minute later you get obviously a big interception?
Yeah, well, it's the pendulum of emotion. You know what I mean? Especially on a fourth down play that you think you get a stop and you know what I mean? Then you see the yellow flag come out, and whether you agree with it or don't agree with it, that's the way they called it. And now we got to respond. And then the next play to come back and get, you know what I mean, the pass deflection and then the catch off the tip. Cause you know, that can go either way. Sometimes the ball gets batted in the air and you don't get it, or they somehow come up with it. And so for us to get a hold of that ball and was huge for our football team.
Coach, it looked like the front seven was excuse me, was able to get into the backfield a little bit better this week. Was that kind of a scheme thing, or does it just come down to better execution?
A little bit of both. You know, we're trying to help our guys out schematically and put them in position where we can penetrate gaps and get into the backfield and maybe cause some havoc and create some tackles for loss. And then, you know, as much as you can scheme all that, it always comes down to technique and how the players are able to perform those movements and get in those positions. And then even, I think we just did a better job of handling their offensive line and getting a little bit of knockback up front and then being able to disengage and get to the ball carrier than we had in the previous games.
Omar and Avery are obviously racking up a ton of tackles. I think they're both top 5 in the conference. Is that sort of by design, or are they going above and beyond and covering some other holes? What have you seen there?
You know, when this defense is working efficiently and at its best, those two guys, those two inside backers should lead our team in tackles. And so that's a good thing for us. And, you know, they should be in position to make a lot of plays for us. And fortunately, we got two good ones that can make the plays.
Okay, Coach. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Everyone, now I have Coach Lindgren. When you're ready, please ask your first question.
Yeah, Brian, obviously 11 passes completed against Washington, 12 against California. Where do you feel like the passing game is at right now?
Still needs a lot of work. Definitely not there. You know, and I feel like, you know, we've definitely leaned towards the run and you know, running the ball great with Jamar, and that's been kind of the thing that we've kind of leaned on through those last couple games. And yeah, passing game definitely not where it needs to be, and you know, people are going to start loading up against that, and we've got to be able to complement it with the pass, and we're just not doing that at a high level right now.
Are the receivers? Do you feel like, are they getting open, or what are you seeing from just the receiver group as a whole?
You know, I think it's like I kind of said last week. I don't know that you can pinpoint it on, you know, one position group. I think it shows up a little bit all over the place, and I think it's sometimes the receivers are open, and either at quarterback we're missing the throw, you know, or we're not protecting it. And I thought this last game we did a better job in pass protection, you know, against Cal. There were a couple opportunities I felt like Tristan missed, and there were a couple things that maybe the play was designed for another coverage, and you know, they had the right call on. There were a couple of those situations. So I wouldn't say that the receivers are just not getting open. I think that we've got to give them some more opportunities, you know, some more calls, and then the quarterback's got to be able to find them when they are open.
I get this question asked all the time, so I'm just going to ask. Chance Nolan, how's he doing in practice? And I mean, is there ever any consideration for giving him a series in a game at all?
Yeah, I think Chance is coming along, and you know, he's getting better every week. He's doing some really good things. He's doing some really good things in practice, and you know, we're running him with the twos. We give him some reps with the ones during the course of the week, and I know he's ready to go. I think I felt like he's been his knowledge of the offense and kind of understanding of how to prepare, you know, weekly, you know, at this level is growing, and he's getting better at that stuff. So he's ready to roll. And I think that's a decision that Coach Smith and I, you know, would make if it, you know, the time comes in the game. And I can just say now that I think he's ready to go, and we'll see just kind of how the situation, presents itself during the course of a game.
But there was never any point in the last couple games where you thought about getting him in there just to see if he could, shake things up or do
Yeah,
something.
not really in the last couple games. And I think that's something, just see, I think if we need a spark, if we're really stagnant, struggling, I think that's something that could happen. But, right now I feel Tristan, he's doing a lot of good things out there for us as well. Some stuff that we're asking him to do in the run game with some checks and getting us in and out about, getting us in and out of plays. And there's some positive things that maybe you don't always see on the stat line that I think he's doing as well. So no, I think, Chance is ready to roll and he's doing a good job in practice. And I think we'll just wait and see, how the game flows.
Brian, with Oregon likely going to be keying on, Jamar in the run game, just from what you guys have done in the first few games, how important is it for Tristan to, come out strong and be able to kind of have that balance and maybe work in the pass to begin the game this time?
That's huge. I mean, in order for us to, to have a chance and to be able to move the ball against this, high quality of defense, we're going to have to get some things in the pass game. I mean, if we're one dimensional against these guys, I think we're going to struggle. And so we've got to get some things going in the pass game. And again, I think it'd be awesome for him to get, hit some things early, get some confidence going and then be able to try to keep him off balance a little bit that way.
The first pass Tristan threw on Saturday he had a really clean pocket and he was able to, throw to Teagan, down there in the corner. Was that just why are we not seeing more of that where he's got time to throw, and is there just it's a work in progress or
I mean, I don't know. I mean, I'd love to see more of that, too. And I think there were times where he had a clean pocket, and I can think of the interception where he had a clean pocket and he threw the ball a little bit high to the tight end and got ricocheted up, and they ended up picking it. So, like I said, I don't think there's one area pass game wise that you can focus on. I just think we've got to improve at all the different position groups, and it takes all those units coming together to make it go. And right now we're not doing it at a high enough level consistently.
How do you feel like the offensive line is progressing as pass blockers?
I thought they did a better job last game against Cal than Washington. In Washington, I mean, they've been getting after the QB. Every game that they've played, so they've done a nice job. I thought in the Cal game it improved. I thought it was definitely a cleaner pocket, and that was something that we kind of worked on in the previous week. For Tristan, we didn't really have a lot of plays. We were really leaning towards, a lot of them were run and play action type plays.
And with Jamar, what in particular does he do well? I think it's easy to look at the numbers and say, oh, he runs really fast and he's a really physical runner, but what specifically does he do well that's enabling him to run for, I think, 7 yards a carry right now?
Yeah, I think he has good vision. I mean, we talk about that. I mean, I think he sees things and is able to understand kind of the run scheme that we've got going and see things and make cuts, get vertical. And then the other thing I think he's doing a nice job right now is just yards after contact. I mean, he's running through arm tackles and he's can be able to kind of create some explosive plays that way. But yeah, I've been really impressed with the way that he's moving and he's played through the first 3 games.
Any more questions for Coach? Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
All right, everyone, we're going to start off with Luke Musgrave. When you're ready, please ask your first question.
Hey, Luke, on your bio it says Oregon State's your dream school, and I'm just wondering how that plays around the house.
Oh, it's fine. I've always liked Oregon State and living in Oregon. It's just kind of the best fit for me, and I think my parents agree. My parents don't have any, any preference. It's just really what was best for me. So they're not huge Oregon fans, and they're just happy that I'm happy here at Oregon State.
What was that like last week? Playing well, you didn't really play against your uncle, but I mean, he was obviously involved in the game. Did you guys talk much afterward or anything like that?
Yeah, I saw him afterwards. We're just, we were just talking and nothing really too much. He was there to do his job and I was there to do mine. But yeah, it was good to see him, and I haven't seen him in a few months, so it was good to see him and chat afterwards.
Growing up over the years, what are some of your memories of this Oregon State-Oregon rivalry? What comes to mind when you think about these two teams playing?
Oh, geez. I don't know. I think I don't really have too much memory. I think I always rooted for Oregon State just because historically they were the underdog when I was growing up. So I think I've always wanted Oregon State to win, and when they do win, it's always fun. In my memory. So, but overall, I haven't really followed this game in particular all that much. I just follow football in general.
So, an Oregon State player who you really idolized growing up?
No, I didn't really have to. I kind of looked more at NFL guys growing up, and I played quarterback growing up, so I wasn't. I was really kind of a big Tom Brady fan and Peyton Manning, so. No, I can't say that I really had any college football player that I idolized much.
So even though your dad played at Oregon, your house wasn't really all that, it wasn't a great big deal on Civil War weekend or anything like that?
No, not at all. We were just we loved watching the game, and I think we all just wanted to see a good football game overall. If anything, we might have been slightly slanted to Oregon State just because historically they've been the underdog. And we wanted to see them upset Oregon.
What is it about that underdog spirit or mentality that draws you in?
Oh, I don't know. I just think I don't even know if it's an underdog. I think it's just hardworking. I think what I've seen at Oregon State is we're just a bunch of hardworking people, and this whole team is just a bunch of we just work hard, and we're not distracted by things that are kind of superficial. We're here to work and play football. And I think that's what I like most about Oregon State.
In regard to the passing game, Brian has said it's kind of a collective effort why it hasn't worked as well as it could. From a receiver standpoint, do you guys feel like you're getting open?
I don't know. I mean, there's a lot more to getting open than the pass. I mean, it's whether he has pressure, whether he goes through the reads. Sometimes you're open, but you're the fourth read, so he never gets to you because he gets pressure. I think people are getting open, and then sometimes we're covered. It just all depends if everything works together. Pass protection, reads, everything. I think.
Anything else for Luke? Thank you, Luke.
Sweet.
All right, everyone, we have Keely Arnold. Please ask your first question when you're ready.
Hey, Keely, can you kind of take me through your perspective of that interception play with the tip pass and just everything that happened after that?
I mean, it was just a blitz off the edge, and when I saw the quarterback wind up his arm and he was about to throw it, so I was like, might as well just jump. And I jumped and it hit my helmet, and then I saw John catch, and it was just crazy. It was fun. It was cool.
After it takes that ricochet and you see it fly up, or you're just kind of hoping somebody can come down with it?
Yeah, you could see me when the ball hit my helmet. I just kept jumping up and waiting for somebody catching, and I just seen John catching. And I was like, just really relieved and just happy.
Yeah, after that play, you were like jumping up and down, running towards midfield. How emotional was that for you guys?
I mean, I wouldn't say it was really emotional. It was cool, but we have a lot of work to do still, with this big game this week. So, I mean, we're still locked in, and it just felt good to finally win one this season.
Did you think you were going to get to Garbers on that blitz when it was first snapped?
I actually did, because I saw the tackle. He didn't see me, and I just took off, and then I thought I was going to tackle him, and he just threw it, so I jumped, and it all played out.
You guys played a lot of that fourth quarter. You had Ham kind of going in and out with an injury. Sandberg's not there. Skelton's not there. How kind of just gutsy of a performance do you think that was to do what you guys did?
I mean, I just think we all practice hard, and we all prepare really hard for stuff like that when it happens. When people go down, people are getting injured and stuff, we always have the next man up, to do his job and just get it done.
3 games in, how would you assess the play of the secondary right now?
Honestly, I think we're doing a lot better than the first game. As you can see, Washington State, we gave up a few touchdowns, and I feel like we're just building. We're gonna get paid. I just want you to know we're gonna get paid soon. So I think we're building something special back there, with Shawnee and Dunn.
Any other questions? Thank you. Okay, we have John McCartney. When you're ready, please ask your first question.
Hey, John, same thing. Could you just kind of take me through that whole interception play from your perspective?
Yeah. So when I saw, while I was rushing, I heard like a loud thud and I saw the ball go up in the air. So right as I seen the ball, it was actually on the opposite side of the line of me. So I just seen it go in there and I was like, nah, I'm coming down with this. Like, I feel like I'm one of the biggest guys. I could jump high. So I felt like no one's going to outget that from me.
Where does that kind of rank on biggest moments, biggest plays of your football career?
Yeah, that was up there. I mean, for me, it's more getting the win on that. I was just happy to get our first win of the season. So that kind of changes how we approach this season. And now we're setting up for a good game against Oregon.
You almost got to Garbers in the play before, and then you guys obviously get it called back on the defensive holding. How kind of deflating was that leading up?
I mean, it wasn't really. I mean, it's kind of, you just got to keep playing at that point. You can't expect, you might do some good one play and someone else has a down play, but everyone's got to be there for each other and pick each other up. And that's kind of what happened. It was just keep fighting at the goal line.
You guys obviously have a really deep outside linebacker group. What's it been like for you this season, just working your way in there and fighting for playing time?
I mean, it's been awesome. I feel like the more I'm able to compete, the better I play. So, and I feel like it's like that for everyone on our outside backer group. So we kind of turn each other up, and I think it's good for us.
Looking at this Oregon State rivalry, what do you think makes it special, makes it unique?
I think it's just awesome how close the teams are. Like everyone, I don't know. When I first came, before I came to Oregon State, I didn't know about this rivalry as much. And when I got here, I saw the audience. I saw how packed the stadiums get going into game week, not just game day, but going into game week. Everyone's like out there. It's just awesome on the streets. Everyone's talking about it. It's just really fun.
You mentioned those crowds. Obviously, that won't be something you have this week. And, is there a way to sum up how weird and wild this time is to play this game? Pandemic, no crowd, so on and so forth. As a player, what's all that like?
Yeah, it's definitely different. For us, I kind of like it though, because we just get to turn each other up. When we make good plays, we got to just bring our own energy every play. And there's no crowd noises to influence, no snap counts that'll affect anything. It's just you go out and play football.
Anything else? Thank you, John. All right, everyone. Last but not least, we have Nuskia Lunam. Please ask the first question when you're ready.
News, being an in-state guy, what has this rivalry meant to you?
Yeah, so just growing up, just like within my family, people always choosing sides of who are they gonna go like root for, and I was always rooting for the underdog for some reason. I don't know why. I was just like, I really want this team to win, and everyone else is like, you don't like the Ducks? I'm like, no, I don't really see anything special about them. So I was just like, I just wanted the underdog to win. So that's what I chose.
What draws you to that underdog? Why do you like the underdog?
I think just because I don't know. I think it's just the little brother mentality. So I have an older brother, and just growing up, I just wanted to always like beat him in everything I did, and so I just think that's just the underdog mentality I had, was just growing up, just trying to be better than my brother.
Do you have a memorable game from this rivalry that stands out to you that you remember watching?
Could you say that one more time?
Do you have a Civil War game that you remember watching growing up that really sticks out to you?
I think the one that sticks out to me the most is my redshirt freshman year when we beat them.
Anything else? Thanks, everyone.